Hello, everybody, and welcome to Beijing, China, to this CGTN special live streaming coming to you from Sanlitun, my favorite place in Beijing, one of the best places, most fun places in China. I'm joined today by my wonderful and beautiful colleague, Angela Fu.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
Guanji, and very important, by a very special guest of ours, our good friend, musician, vlogger, songwriter, Shaun Gibson. Shaun.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Look at your fans. I mean, I'm jealous.
I'm very, very happy that so many people could come today.
Yeah.
I didn't know if anybody would be able to come.
Of course.
it's
And not
my
just the
first
fans
time.
here. We have a lot of fans online as well because we're going live over YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Weibo, and also Yang Shiping, and not forgetting Bilibili, I think is
And
what
also
you're
our,
mainly
of
on.
course, very own CGTN platforms. Welcome to all of you in China, across Asia, and around the world for tuning in.
Yeah,
And
so-
for our fans who made it all the way from Tianjin and everywhere in China to come to see Shaun. Shaun has been traveling
Yeah, a lot.
to a very unique place of China.
Yeah. Have you been?
No. That
Where
is
is it?
Guangxi in southern China. And today, that's where we're here, to really feature and tell you about one of his recent works. He wrote a song, and we made a documentary about the song, called The Song of Maonan.
Yeah. But before we take a sneak preview of his documentary, because we're going live, please leave your comments and questions below, and then we can be posting those questions to Shaun throughout the live. But without further ado, 我们要不要先看一下这个短片？
Let's go.
This trip has been such a massive inspiration for me. How to put all of this into a song? That's my big challenge now.
这些孩子的话也是我家乡的人啊，回家了能为自己家乡做点事情，那自己也快乐啊，是不是？这里只有一个学校，我除了教书，还要做饭给学生吃。
我脱贫之前，一天想吃3餐干饭都难，在家里面就靠这3亩地的收入种一点玉米和稻谷。
Here we have the most spectacular tangerines that you have ever tasted. The fragrance, I just want to turn it into a perfume.
我们这里也有别墅的好吗？这就是别墅，天下无一份，真的。2楼是吗？
So many memories running through my mind. And when I close my eyes, I'll see the faces of all the incredible people I met here. Truly remarkable people.
They are the children from the poor family.
Yeah.
The government told us that this school needs the teachers, so I came here.
I always miss. Wei Shuji is one of hundreds of people who have made a sacrifice to come and live in the mountains with these people and protect them.
如果一直这么忙碌的工作的话，我们照顾小孩的时间都没有。换一种方式来讲，我的小孩也变成留守儿童了，不能经常陪伴在他身边。
I really hope I can come back to this area in 5 or 10 years' time and see how it's changed. See how it's improved for the better. See the results of the work that the incredible, selfless people are doing here.
在里面生活了几辈子的人，出来的话，你就必须得走出来，没有其他的办法了。
Wow.
Wow, this is amazing.
show. I actually had the privilege of watching the documentary, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today for the viewing party and also the premiere of Song of Maonan. And that will be shown on our CGTN channel and also CGTN documentary at 13 o'clock Beijing time. And what's that around the world?
I think 5 a.m. GMT.
GMT.
But without further ado, let me ask you, Shaun, what was it like being in the Chinese countryside in that part of the country and really talking to those locals?
It was very, very eye-opening, to say the least. I mean, I don't think anything can quite prepare you to see the things that I saw. And it was very, very special experience for me to be able to go and see the amazing work that's being done there, but also the very unique lives of the people there. You know, they have a very unique culture and a very unique way of doing things. Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah. How did you even get onto this project? Because we were doing our research, and Maonan is one of 56 ethnic minorities, but it's a very small fraction we now have in China. How did you even get onto this project?
Well, I mean, I was kind of approached by CGTN originally. They asked me, because they'd seen the work that I've been putting online, and I have a greater project of going to as many places in China as I can and exploring as many different cultures, as many different things as I can, and then taking all of that, everything that I see, everything that I hear, and I use that as inspiration to put into my music. So I make vlogs about the things that inspire me and then write songs about them too. So it's part of that kind of project, and CGTN invited me to become part of this because they said, okay, we're organizing this TV show about the Maonan people in Guangxi. So I said, they asked me if I'd be interested. I said, absolutely, yes, because I thought it's a great opportunity to have a look and see what people's life is like there, but also to have a glimpse at the poverty alleviation situation there as well, which I've heard a lot about in the news, but to have the opportunity to actually go and see that for myself was a very exciting opportunity.
I mean, have you been to places like this before?
Yeah. I've been to quite a number of them, but not in the last 8 years, because I was in the other part of the world as a correspondent. But I was in western rural Gansu province, one of the hinterlands of China, and really what I saw struck me. And one of the things that really struck me was the eagerness and hunger of those young people, wanting to learn, eager to learn. They came from humble beginnings. They might be born into poor families, but the eagerness in their face and through their action to really to learn and to get better and to be achievers. I'm not sure if that's something that
it's interesting you say that actually, because there's still a certain level of reluctance in the Maonan community because they're worried about losing their traditional cultures as they step into the modern world. They're concerned that that's going to be lost in some way, which I think is a very justifiable concern. But it's something that doesn't need to be worried about, really, because there are a lot of people working very hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. So it's people like Wei Shuji and Tanjie, who you'll see in the documentary. They're the kind of ringleaders, if you like. They're the Pied Pipers who are trying to encourage people to progress and develop themselves into modern society without the concern of losing their traditional cultures, because actually this is something that's also celebrated. And it's something that I've noticed in China as well. I've traveled to Yunnan, and there's so many ethnic minorities all over China, and it's amazing to see that there are so many different cultures still very much alive, but also kind of still part of what we know to be China, So it's like, I think there are 56 ethnic minorities, right?
56.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that when I first came here. I just thought there was Chinese, which is what I now know to be Han. But I did not know that there were also 56 ethnic minorities. So as soon as I heard that, I was, wow, I have to go and explore all 56 of them and see what they're about, really, Just go there with an open mind and see what I can find, see what I can learn from them.
And what's the cultural aspects that really struck you? Because I don't know if you've been to other ethnic minority groups, or if this is the first one that you've encountered.
I was fortunate enough to do another series, a short series going around Yunnan as well, and there were some local cultures. But the thing that struck me with this, with Maonan community, is they design these really special kind of masks that they use for, it's kind of like part of a festival or some kind of ritual kind of thing.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
quite...
a deity or something, like a god, local god.
Yeah,
deity.
exactly. And they
The
have all
deities.
sorts of different ones where there are kind of, like, there's some that look really happy and smiley, which would, I suppose, represent the good in the world, and then there's some really nasty-looking ones with like frowny faces and pointed eyebrows.
there.
Ward off the evil, I think that's what they're for, right?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. And I saw in the clip before that you had a go at making them. I mean, how was that?
I think my artistic skills when it comes to painting masks leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest. But it was a good experience. Yeah, it was really nice. I think if I could spend more time there to absorb more, then I'd probably learn the skills a lot better. But obviously, you know, when you're filming for a TV show, the time's quite tight, so there's only a limit to how much you can do. So I'd really love to be able to have the opportunity to go back there again, really.
And I think it's a really good way to show people to kind of get involved, because we were talking before about people moving in probably from the countryside or from these communities into the urban areas. And it's that danger of losing our culture, our customs. And that's why we have organizations who really look after the intangible heritage. And I think that's what you're doing, and a lot of us are also trying to do.
Yeah. Speaking of masks, I think we got a few, right?
Our production team has actually been kind to lend us some masks, but these aren't the Maonan masks. I think they're 挪面具. Wow. These are similar, but these are from another ethnic minorities. I don't know if anyone in front of the screen knows where they're from. Do you want to
take a guess?
Which way up is it?
What about you guys? Do you know where they're from?
This is pretty.
Is this the right way up?
Yeah, that's the right way up.
It'd be pretty awkward if I held it the wrong way, wouldn't
it?
And these.
This one looks pretty fierce. He looks pretty intimidating. Or she.
I don't want to compare, but it looks a bit like the Halloween kind of.
Halloween?
It could be a Halloween mask, right? No. Seriously, but this is a traditional Chinese ethnic mask.
From
popular in...
I suppose this part does kind of look like a witch or like a pumpkin kind of shape, right?
I know, that's why I'm saying.
And these are actually quite common, not just in China, I mean different ethnicities. We're talking about this, I think this was from Guizhou. I might be saying it wrong, correct me if anyone knows. And also, this is very similar to, there's a lot of traditions with masks. I mean, I don't know if we've been to Venice, we have like the Venetian carnival masks. And also in Africa, they have masks, the Festima festival. So I think there's that similar tradition across the world.
I think, Italy also has masks, right?
Yeah, the Venetian carnival, the really pretty ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones in Romeo and Juliet. And also we have a lot of shout-outs. We have,
beautiful.
I'm going to get these names wrong. Hung Castori from Australia, hi. What time is it? It's in the afternoon, I think.
Where?
And also
in Australia?
from a lot of Australians.
Wow,
so
hello Australia.
Big hi to your Australian fans. So without further ado, I mean, we're talking about heritage and how we pass it on, and that's a big part of your work as well.
Yeah, it's something that I'm very passionate about personally, because I think culture is, you know, in essence represents, it's like a projection of who we are as people. So that's exactly what I do in my work, and I actually wrote a song called Pass It On.
Oh, wow.
Can we get a here? Can we listen to it? Will you be able to
sing it for us here in front of your fans?
给我们唱一首.
Yeah, no problem.
真的
Wow.
可以好啊
Nice.
I even have a
我们的
microphone
粉丝们
prepared.
今天一定不虚此行啊！我们
太好了
Let's do it. Let's go. Yeah.
So
Maybe
pass it
start.
on.
Can we get the music on?
传承
There you are.
Love it
Pass
already.
it on.
好听
When I look back through the ages, dynasties rise and fall, but cultures can last forever if we only treasure them all. Pass it on through the ages, pass it on from moms to sons, pass it into the future when morning comes. A factory can hold something precious, far beyond the value of gold. Traditional methodical secrets, a wedding ring that comes from a stone. Put that stone into the fire, douse it out inside the rain, stretch it into a ribbon till it forms the golden chain. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
Thank you.
I love love the beats. You just want to dance to it. Do you see my hardcore
you're a
dance
real
moves?
singer.
I love music that makes you want to move.
Oh.
I think that everyone's
Before
so
I heard
serious.
you, I
in the
thought
world.
Angela was the best singer, but I go to that karaoke.
I think
around
she
here
is the
quite
best
often,
singer.
But full disclosure, but
Hopefully we'll get this song
Man, you're a
KTV so
pro.
I can
Hopefully we'll get your performance later.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
But I mean, what is that song about? Because we were listening to the lyrics, there's Chinese incorporated into it. And also there's a lot of actual customs into that song. Can you talk to us?
So it's written in two parts, really. I used the topic of like jewelry manufacturing, because I've been watching a lot of traditional Chinese dramas lately about, like 甄嬛传, Wu Meinyang, these kind of ancient dramas.
yeah.
And something that struck me was how beautiful all of the jewelry and things like that are. So I decided to write a song about that. And so I reached out to Zhou Dafu, Chuan, and asked if I could work with them to maybe do a song. And so they allowed me backstage into their factory. So I saw how all of the traditional ways that they use to make the traditional jewelry.
Yeah.
So I used that as inspiration to kind of say, okay, well, in this life, we're given hardships, we're given difficult times, and you can make your own beautiful thing out of it, which is something that I really believe
Taking
in.
something that's raw.
Yeah, so I literally took, okay, so there's 吹一出盛开的花. This basically means like you hit something and then it becomes a beautiful flower out of it. So it's
The
like you...
experiences and challenges that you face.
So it's like just realizing that the beautiful things in this world are all born out of suffering, out of pain, out of difficulty. And that's like you wouldn't plant
It's
a
very
tree.
philosophical.
Yeah,
It's beautiful,
I'm a
actually.
pretty
Study
philosophical
philosophy,
guy,
right?
actually. No, just what I've picked up from life. I'm pretty life sensitive, I think.
It is. It's very positive thinking as well.
Our viewers are commenting, they're sending saying positive things.
And this is what we love.
Tavashi Jetaja on Facebook said, wow, so beautiful. Bobby Fun said, handmade artwork, painting,
these.
calligraphy, make a good living to get out of poverty.
This is the
YouTube
thing with
user.
China. There are so many different traditional things like craftsmanship, art, ways of life. There's so much to learn from here, and it's so fascinating. And there's a whole story, a whole background behind those things as well. Like, I'm going to be doing another project in the next few weeks based on China. The cups and saucers and things like that, and just
Like the pottery.
it's just like everything is
The
just
kilns.
like you look at this cup, it's just a cup, right? There's nothing particularly interesting about it. It's just a glass. But China, it's got artwork written all over it. The colors mean something. And then you've got the place where that's made, which is like this stunning, you've got like a cloudy, if you picture like green mountains with rivers flowing through and the rain slightly, it's just so artistic. It's like China is like for me, it's like a whole theme park of culture and things to explore.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's not just that they look pretty, it's they have a very long history behind all the different things that we see in normal life. Like in Sanxingdun, we were talking about the mask. I just remember that they have a new mask that's being kind of brought out from those tombs. And those are back in thousands of years. And the craftsmanship is amazing. But I mean, getting into this, how did you even become interested in the Chinese way of life or the Chinese culture? Because I'm guessing you're not a native Chinese.
Yes, I'm actually from 我从苏州来的.
Oh, okay.
Yes. No, of course not. I'm originally from the northwest of the UK.
Yeah.
And I think whilst I was at university, I became a little bit underwhelmed by the Western pop music because I'm a musician primarily. That's what I do. That's who I am. And I became a little bit bored, shall we say, of the constant recycling of Western styles going around and around and around. It's like, okay, we'll take a bit of rock and put that with some jazz, or we'll take some EDM and put that with, the Beatles or some country music. And it's great. It's really wonderful when those things happen. But for me, I just wanted to get out there and see the world and do something a little bit different with my life. So I was already kind of looking for this kind of opportunity when, whilst studying, a whole group of Chinese students came over as part of the exchange program at the university. And so I slowly started to make some more and more Chinese friends, and they kind of take me to KTV to sing songs, and they'd showed me some TV shows and movies,
and slowly
like
led
COG,
you to...
these kind of things. Yeah, and the more I kind of started to explore these things, the more interested I became. So I thought, I better come to China, and then I never left.
Wow.
And then the more, just like you said before, the more you discover, the more you realize there's so much more to learn.
Yeah.
56 ethnic minorities. That's like, I can't even comprehend that.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
China is definitely not a monolith. But how would you tell these things, these aspects of the Chinese culture, the demographic diversity to the Western audience? I mean, I suppose they don't know a whole lot about these things.
It's very difficult to explain, I think. I think it's something that you really have to come here and feel for yourself. So, I mean, my advice to anyone watching really is to, when you view China, see it with an open mind. Come here yourself once the pandemic's over, obviously, when it's safe to do so. Come here, see for yourself, explore, and you will be surprised. Before I came here, I had no idea there were 56 ethnic minorities.
You have to kind of be in the present to kind of gain the culture, because everything that we see on TV, on pop culture, is very different to experiencing it.
It's also very biased towards the political view, agenda of the day.
Exactly.
And the thing with culture is, it transcends that. You know, Chinese culture isn't going anywhere. You know, it's with the people. The only way to get rid of it is you get rid of the people, right? But as long as the people are here, that's where the culture lives inside, and that's what I hope to explore in my work anyway, to sort of show people a side, my side of China, the things that I explore.
And I've actually got a question here from one of our friends on Bilibili, and he's asking, 作为留学生在英国有什么需要注意的? So basically, he's now in the UK as a Chinese, studying in the UK. Any advice that you can give him?
Any advice?
As a UK person in China, is there any similarities?
不用害羞. 不用害羞. If someone starts asking you questions, 如果一个英国人，一个当地人跟你说话，你就可以随便跟他说，因为他真的很好奇你自己的国家是什么样的。对，不用害羞。因为我觉得他可能就是跟我一样好奇。
Angela, you studied and lived in the UK for a long time, more than a decade. What would be your tips?
Well, my tips.
I'm just curious.
I mean, I moved to the UK when I was 8, so it was a
and
bit
you
of an
only
advantage.
returned recently.
Wow.
Because when you're that young, you don't have that fear, and I think that's the same thing. It's like 不要害羞，不要害怕. Like, don't have the fear. Don't be afraid to make a mistake, because that's how you learn and progress. And sometimes I think when you go abroad or go to a new environment when you're older, we're more reserved, and sometimes we're always like taking one step forward and 3 steps back because we're so afraid of making a mistake.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, it's like by making those mistakes, then you actually realize that that's probably the wrong way of doing it, but then someone can then tell you the correct way of doing it.
Definitely. The analogy I like to use is, you didn't learn to walk by standing up and walking, right? You learned to walk by falling over 1,000 times. So that's what makes you think that anything else in life is any different. You win by failing many, 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 many times, and you learn to fail better.
And enjoy the culture, like just travel.
Yeah.
在英国有特别多美丽的地方，一定要去 explore, like what Shaun is doing in China.
Yeah, exactly.
Just exploring and seeing people, culture, scenery. And I mean, you were in the US a bit older.
Actually, when I was younger, when I was 15, I went on a Shandong 教育局的一个 education program. I went to Australia, and we play soccer every day with my host family buddies. Jorge is his name. He's a Colombian Australian. We played soccer with Brazilians, Belgians, Australians over there. You didn't really see people through the color of their skin or their cultural background, but really, you had a whole lot of fun, tons of fun. And they became your friends. Some of them became your buddies, family. And then the older we get, I'm not sure if that's your sense too, that the more stereotypes that we have.
Yeah.
And it's harder for us as we grow older to think more open-mindedly about people and places and things. Mm-hmm. And that's sad.
It is sad. And I think if you look at a child discriminates against things very little. They only and they're much happier for it. You know, I don't know why, but the older we get, the more intelligent we become. But intelligence seems to me more like a knife. It's a tool to dissect things into so many pieces. But by the time you've dissected everything, do you really understand it? I don't think so. I think to understand something, you need to look at it as a blank canvas with a totally open mind, a totally open viewpoint, and say, I don't know. You know, you go to somewhere, as soon as you go somewhere and you have the mindset of, I don't know anything about this, and leave all prejudice, all assumptions behind, and you go to that place, then you can learn so much more than if you go there with your own biases straight away. And that is the only way I can go to these places like Maonan and not judge and not sort of lose that innocence. You know, you need to keep that spark of innocence alive within you, I think. And that's the only way that we're going to make the world
a better place.
Well, yeah, it sounds cliche, but it's or cheesy, but it's true.
It's true.
And I've got another question here from Billy. 这个其实是之前我一直在问的一个问题，就是他什么时候开演唱会 ？When is your concert, live concert？ 然后2是什么时候出专辑
？When is my first concert? Hopefully soon, but booking live houses at the moment is a little bit tricky because of the pandemic situation, but hopefully soon.
You could do an online virtual concert. What about that?
Okay, well, I might be doing that today.
网友们对那个肖恩做一个线上的演唱会是否可以？因为现在毕竟是疫情嘛，所以就是很大的这种唱歌的就比较大。
对，有点。
那你中文歌会唱一点吗？我这块有网友在问。
我可以啊。
能来一段吗？
现在吗？
可以啊。Acoustic?
Why not?
Why not? 要听吗？大家？要。
好，唱什么歌呢？东北人都是活雷锋。这个不是我自己首歌好吗？
来一段。
我想一下，我就细思将历史精心缠绕，吹叶出盛开的花。这就是之前的一首歌，对。然后还有。连空气都在嘲笑我，我有很多的歌，我都忘记了歌词。
你记得你一开始第一次听的中文歌是什么吗 ？The first song you heard in Chinese？
我第一首歌，我觉得是《天使的翅膀》，还有《爱我别走》。爱我别走，如果你说你不爱我，一起唱好吗？不要听见你声的说出口，再给我一点温柔。对，
好好听啊，真的。
Wow. Angela, you can sing too, no? Especially the
我们一起唱
Bond movie.
爱我别走，如果你说。然后 the harmony. 爱我。
I bet Mariah Carey in that.
Awesome. I'm the only one who can sing. But
KTV, everyone can sing.
Release. You had an MV release, I remember.
Did you?
that was highly choreographed.
Oh, you kept
王冠有
that
出
secret.
一首歌，对吧？做在这块都是 super talented.
You know, there was a height of the pandemic. You know, some friends, so we wrote a song and then sent it. But I forgot
What
the
was the
lyrics.
topic?
That was about, you know, fighting the pandemic. It's really about paying tribute to the nurses, doctors, frontline practitioners. You know,
amazing.
Me singing the song with, I think, a Spanish friend, Arabic friend, and people from Europe, from around the world, in fact. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was just thinking the other day about hosting because we're a multi-language channel. 就是我们有中英文和很多语言在我们的节目里。
对。
可是其实我想今天不光是英语和中文，其实很多我们有 we have a third language, which is music.
对。
Because when we're thinking about it, 其实音乐是一个 universal language, 因为就是 I was just trying to think that it's probably one of the only thing or language that is universal across the world. 因为其实你在想那个音乐音符的时候是都一样的，不管你在世界哪一个地方。就是我们学的哆来咪发嗦来西哆，就是 right？
对，就是
It's the same and it's like the common thing, and I think that's what really bridged you with all the cultures, and that's why with things like Wuhan, that was the best way to kind of show
Definitely.
appreciation, because the music is a universal language.
Definitely, and I think music can express things that you can't explain in words. And that's why when I go on trips like this, and I've experienced so many things, to be able to put that into a song, it's a huge challenge because there's so much to put in there, but it's a much better way of explaining how my experience was than telling you about it. Because at least I may not be able to show you through the song, but at least you can feel it.
Yeah.
And that I'm hoping that the more Westerners can watch my work as well, like watch my videos, listen to my songs, I hope that more Westerners can feel that as well, and it will make them curious to come here and see things for themselves.
Yeah. Music, sport, they're really like universal languages. 我们今天有很多那个远道而来的这个朋友们，你的粉丝啊，都是你 B 站各个平台上的粉丝。我想我们也给他们一个机会来提问，好不好？我们这个有哪些网友朋友想问上一个问题？
不用害羞。
Anyone？
不用害羞好吗？
你可以让Shaun说中文，我们很多网友希望听Shaun的中文。
就一个机会哦。
我在这里，我的中文这么不好，我也没有什么害羞，对吗？
学中文，你学中文多久了？
这个
你们好好想一想。
我学了8个月汉语，是上8个月中文课，但是另外一个东西都是从跟工作人、跟朋友一起聊天学的。
因为你唱歌的时候就不会听说，如果闭上眼睛，感觉就是中国人在唱，就感觉不会有口音。
这个可能是因为我是做音乐人，我是一名做音乐人，所以我的耳朵比较敏感，因为我从小的时候就开始练吉他，但是说话，我还是用我英文的大脑、英文的想法，然后在大脑里面翻译，然后说出来，所以还是有点难。对，
会不会有语句的那种改变？
就是所以因为我觉得我唱的比说的好听一点。所以这个也是另外一个好处，用音乐表达我自己的想法。
Yeah. And we made a documentary about your whole experience in the Chinese countryside in southern China. And I think that's why we're here today, to really to tell you more about this important documentary, a very fun documentary about Shaun's experience in Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. We will premiere that at 1 p.m. Beijing time, that is 5 a.m. GMT.
Yeah.
I think we can show our viewers a bit of it.
Yeah, but before that, I think we have a question from the audience, from the fans.
Yeah, we do.
有粉丝想问问题。
Yes.
Okay, finally, there.
Hello, welcome to Beijing, and I'm one of your fans. I think your song, your translation is very beautiful, but I know traditional Chinese culture is a little boring and you need many patience to learn. So I want to ask you who influenced you to be interested in it, or what happened for you to influence you to learn traditional Chinese culture.
正好我给我们的网友们翻译一下，就是这位朋友的提问英语特别好，
对，你英文
因为太好了，就是说可能我们
同传小姐姐给你翻译一下。
哦，同传，那个就是中文的这个文化，可能有人看上去就比较就是 boring 是什么？就无聊，对吧？就是很枯燥、单一，或者就比较难，其实。
它非常难以，就是有的时候就很难以理解。
对。
就有。
所以就不知道 Shaun 是怎么接触到，或者是谁影响你
I think
去接触这些文化。
In terms of why do I do it, I don't know either. It just feels very natural for me to explore, because I think whilst I was in Liverpool, my Chinese friends introduced me to so many things. And I felt so welcomed by the Chinese community, just so much warmth and so much love to share their culture with me. And so I became more and more interested, more and more passionate about it. So then now it's just been a sort of very natural progression to learn more and more and more and more and more. And in terms of how do I do it, I very much rely on my friends to recommend things to me. And also you guys, you know, I read all of your comments, and you recommend some songs to me to learn, or you'll recommend, oh, have you been to this place? Have you tried this food? Like 螺蛳粉.
螺蛳粉.
Yes.
That's a secret.
Who told me she brought the 螺蛳粉 today?
Yeah. Well, I don't know who that is.
So,
and we also have a question from a YouTuber,
like
Ryan, and this is a question I've always asked him. And what is the biggest change for you living in China? 就是你在中国生活的对你最大的改变是什么？
biggest change? Oof. Everything. It's like I'm living two lives. You know, yeah. When I go back to the UK, it's one kind of experience, and then being in China is a totally different kind of experience, because for me in China, almost everything is totally new. Everything is brand new, whereas everything in the UK is very familiar for me. I know how everything works. Here, everything is new, which is exciting, and also, of course, has its difficulties at times, because it's just different. So I describe my life in China as exciting and new and adventurous. It's an adventure. And my life in the UK is more like relaxing, going home, 放假, see the family, this kind of feeling. Yeah.
And when you go back to the UK, do you play like Chinese songs for your parents? 就你有没有介绍中文的歌曲？
我不用，他们一直在看我的视频。
哦，真的。
Yeah, 他们也是我的粉丝。
他们喜欢吗？
他们也喜欢。
他们也会一起唱吗？
And also my sister's so excited about Chinese culture as well now, and because I slowly just to sort of feed her some stuff, oh, what's this, and she's like, oh wow, she really loves the Chinese makeup as well. She loves makeup.
刚才有说要化妆，可能有一个美妆博主要。
潜移默化的影响她的妹妹啊。
Yeah, 我的妹妹. So I also encouraged her to start her own channel to sing some songs and to.
That's so sweet.
Explore Chinese culture herself, yeah. She's actually reached out to our local Chinese takeaway to learn some more as well. So she's even
学中文
yeah. Not so much Chinese, just 中国文化.
中文
Yeah.
So maybe soon we'll have a duet.
Already happened. Yeah, but not a Chinese song yet.
她和她妹妹要有
她还在学习
二人合唱。
我们这边已经有人在点说让你唱。月亮代表我的心，也许你可以把这也交给你的妹妹。
月亮代表我，
你会？
你或者你问我爱你有多深，你爱你有几分 ？I'm watching your mouth to learn the words. 我的心啦啦，我的爱的深，月亮代表我的心。
还有网友说我们说英文太多了啊，但是是这样的，我介绍一下，我们今天是 CGTN 的全球网络直播，所以一开场呢我们说了一些英文，但是呢上的中文也非常好啊，待会儿我们都让他说一点中文，
还好吧？
那
中文非常好，大家觉得上的中文怎么样？非常棒，是吧？
那上其实有一个问题，大家一直想问你啊，就是作为一个英国人生活在中国，你觉得哪些文化是一个可以说是 culture shock？ 哪些是觉得这个在作为英国人啊，我们中国的文化其实是和英国相通的？
我第一个 shock 就是中国这么大，真的这么大，
和英国比吗？
你说呢？Just absolutely blew my mind. 你要坐飞机6个小时，还在一样的国家。对这个英国人来说，
从绥化坐到那个
不可能
西藏了。
在英国6个小时已经飞到另外一个国家了。
对啊，这是到 Turkey 对吗？这是在欧洲的另外一个地方。
好像也就4个小时吧，我觉得。
4个小时吗？
我上次去了，忘了多久了。从英国飞到土耳其。多长时间？有没有人去过？
在这么大的国家的里面，有这么多的不一样的文化，这么不一样的民族，很多的吃饭不一样，文化。什么都是文化。
那你觉得中国人呢？其实很多时候大家都把中国人和英国人做比较啊，说都比较含蓄啊，都比较 they're a bit shy, you know.
中国人
conservative on the conservative side, you know. 你觉得是不是这样？
中国人和中国和英国文化吧，可能也是。 会不会有相似的
I
地
think
方？
I think we're pretty maybe a little bit conservative in a way, like a little bit closed. But then once you sort of break that open a little bit, we sort of open up like a flower.
这是不是叫闷
其实我在美国生活了8年，我觉得美国人其实外热内冷啊。在美国街上啊，你见到一个美国人，他们就会说 "Hey, how are you？" 在电梯里面见到陌生人，他们会跟你打招呼。但其实呢，特别是在我住的华盛顿，the capital city is very has a lot of politics there, of course， 真的很难交朋友。但其实我身边有很多欧洲的朋友、英国的朋友，当然也有很多美国朋友。但我觉得欧洲人呢，确实，I mean, it's nuanced. It's very nuanced. It's different.
其实这是伦敦，你可以给我说你同意不同意，但是我觉得这是伦敦的东西，因为如果你去伦敦之外，这些城市也是 like 你坐公交车可以和旁边人今天你怎么样？天气很好，巴拉巴拉巴拉，对，然后我们英国人特别喜欢聊weather 天气的东西，所以我们从这样开始。所以之前那个留学生给我说，有什么推荐？就是聊
天气
的东西。
可是，在英国也没什么天气可聊的，因为天天下雨。
这是为什么？我们聊天气。今天不是在下雨，
有太阳。
对，有太阳，这是什么东西？
对，
是这样。
太阳出来10分钟就可以去那个 sunbathe， 就可以去晒太阳了。
对，然后如果你去利物浦的话，你真的要穿 like waterproof coat, also sunglasses, also a hat, because in one day you can have 4 seasons.
对
，right.
天天带雨伞，所以其实我也觉得就是在英国住和在中国住，因为我也是北京人，在北京这一块，我觉得是有很多的相似度。There's more similarities between I think the English culture and the Chinese culture. 就从可能家庭观 family， 就是会有很多的支持，会有很多的 support， 而且就是 your nuclear family is really important in the UK。就是在中国，你的核心家庭对你来说也是很重要的。然后其他像比如说把人的一个状态，我觉得也其实很像。
Actually, I think
we all love football.
Yes, well, not me. I should like football.
You're from Liverpool, right?
Yeah, I lived in Liverpool for 7 years. It's kind of blasphemous for me to not like football, really, but
I think it would be even more blasphemous for me because I shifted from Man U fan to City fan.
You didn't. That's awful, you traitor.
Because I really like Aguero and David Silva, but
actually, it's funny. 我的爷爷，he supports Manchester City. 然后我的老爸，他的儿子 is United。
我们说一开始我是曼联的球迷，当时我学英语90年代，后来呢，现在又成了曼城的球迷。后来因为我学西班牙语，因为曼城有很多拉丁球员啊。
我们一直是 Liverpool 的粉丝。
Yeah. In fact, I like what you said about like more similarities than differences, because I think in today's society, we focus too much on our differences rather than our similarities. But if there's anything that I've learned from my travels around China and other places, it's that we are a lot more similar than we are different at our core. Like everyone just wants the same thing. They need a certain amount of money in their pocket, a certain level of comfort, and that's it. You know, everything else, all of our differences are culture. So in my opinion, there's things that should be celebrated, not things that should be sort of looked down on or whatever, you know, looked at with an open mind.
Exactly, and we have a
shall we show that clip of the documentary? I think that's what
有一部分正好是在里面，就是讲家庭和这种未来的。
好吧，那安吉啊，我们要不要那个
看一眼？
看一眼吧，我们请导播放一眼我们今天的《Song of 毛南之歌》的纪录片片段。
之前他们数饭的这个随记吧。
This is only the old house from 3 months ago. This is the place that they called home. My eyes don't believe what I'm seeing, so my brain is just like, it only associates places like this with movies. It's not real. This kind of place doesn't exist anymore. Then if you came here, you would really appreciate just how lucky you are.
because I now realise just how lucky I am. And I can really feel my privilege standing here right now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, we're going to see the whole thing in a little less than an hour.
Yeah, so after this, stay tuned， 就是不要走，因为我们整个的正片在这一个的看片会之后会给大家播放，真的是特别好看。
Exactly.
因为我看这个片子的时候，我看到 Shaun 其实有一段还比较 ，you are very emotional，
Oh,
有点
yeah.
感动到，就是对你来说有什么改变？做这个片子
I think if anybody went there and didn't have a certain level of emotion, then they have a stone heart. You know, I don't think anything can prepare you for some of the things that I saw. I think the clip that you just saw, we went to see some houses. And originally the director said, okay, we're going to go to see the old house first and then the new house. And then somewhere along the line, it got swapped around. So in that clip there, I thought we were seeing the old house, and then we were going to go to the new house. And as I was walking around the new house, I was walking in, and you've got a family of 7 or 8, maybe even more, maybe 10, and they're all sitting around this small lamp.
就一个小灯
This
在桌子
small
上
kind of heat lamp thing, and they're
油灯是吗
yeah, it's kind of looks like a bird cage, but it's a heater, like just an electric heater. And then we went upstairs, and you know, a family. I think there were 2 families living in one house, and 4 people shared one bed, one double bed. And then I walked into the bathroom, and it was when I walked into the bathroom that I was so shocked because there's no shower in there. I asked Wei Shuji, the guy in the clip there, what do they use to bathe? You know, this is just. They said this is the bathroom. I said there's nothing in it. It's empty. Have they finished? You know, what is this? And he said, oh, they just have a bath. They just pour water from the tap and throw it over themselves.
Gosh.
And I was like, wow, like they have Wi-Fi, they have 4G here, but they still don't have a shower. And then they said, oh. I said, wow, so the new house must be much better, right? And they said, that's when the director said to me, this is the new house. And that's when tears filled in my eyes, because I haven't never seen those kind of conditions before. And then I just became overwhelmed, realizing, gosh, this was already a shock to me.
Yeah.
If this is the new conditions, what are the old conditions like? And then I went to the old conditions, and going there, I actually became emotionless. Because it was such a shock to me, I became totally numb. And exactly like I said in that clip, my eyes could not believe what I was seeing. It literally felt like I'd walked into a film set. It literally, you know Lord of the Rings? Have you seen Lord of the Rings? Yes. When they're kind of like camping outside and they're on a journey, and it's like temporary residence around a fire. It's literally what it was like. The walls are, in fact, they look really beautiful from outside. And this is something that I hope that can live on in the new, as they progress, the cultural architecture is amazing, but it's very basic.
But it's hopeful because we're seeing the changes. 就一直是有变化的，是有一个改进的。
And this is exactly what made me realize even the new house for them is 1,000 times better than the old house. Yeah. So I couldn't believe that it's still, like I said, I did not believe that this kind of thing still exists.
So they're just all overcoming challenges. And in that perspective, what's that journey like for you? I mean, we all have our own challenges. Has that really changed your perspective on life or the way that you conduct life even?
Well, I think for me, everyone has their own struggle in life. And I think the purpose of human life is to just progress as much as you can and be the best life that you can be and be more and more life sensitive. So for me, going to that kind of place, my own personal challenge is I'm actually losing my eyesight. So the doctors have told me I have about 5-ish years.
As in you?
4 or 5 years.
Serious?
Yeah, I'll be blind. It's
it's not a joke.
No, it's real. So it's a degenerative retinal disease, which basically means my retina, the light receptive cells at the back of the eye, are just slowly dying, essentially. So at the moment, there's no cure. There are treatments, like research being conducted and everything. But I was just thinking, gosh, if I grew up in this kind of environment, how would I survive? How would I be able to live here? There's no lights. There's no lights. The terrain is... there must be some people like me. There must be. So it'd be really interesting to go back and see some disabled people who living there, because, you live in Beijing, you live in a big city, even any civilized city, there's a certain degree of comfort. Yeah. And what I realized, actually, whilst I was there, is this certain level of money, this certain level of comfort is baseline. Once you have that, you then have the freedom to choose. These people don't have any freedom to choose anything. They only have the freedom to survive. They can't even collect drinking water. The drinking water is the rain. They collect the rain in buckets, and it only rains for 2 months of the year. The rest of the time, it's drought. It's a completely dry, arid landscape in the middle of the mountain. So they fill these water buckets up, and then they have to walk for hours just to get water to bring back to do the cooking and everything. And it's just such a harsh environment. It's like people should not be able to live there, but they can.
This is why we really should stay and watch the show. 因为听到 Shaun 的故事，因为他自己刚才也是问说，是不是这一次的旅程中有没有自己发现什么？也是刚才跟我们说他的left eye 有 eye， 眼睛就是会可能在5年内会失明，也是一个基因的病吧。Inherited, like
it's inherited. So my sister also has it. My mum, my grandma.
We're really sorry about that. We should treasure really what we have.
Exactly. My focus and my whole
be grateful.
出去看一看，多看一看，真的是给刚才那个留学生。
But I think the Chinese countryside is as vast as it is as diverse. I saw that the tangerine footages over there. Helping the farmers, they're selling their stuff online through their mobile phones. Getting more customers. Simply.
Well, this is something that I found really strange as well. It's like, how can they have 4G internet but they don't have a shower? And then I realized, well, actually, for them, they're already used to throwing water over themselves. So what do they need a shower for? Actually, 4G or 5G. In fact, it's 5G now because they didn't have 4G before, so they just put 5G straight in there. So they're actually Maonan community is actually more advanced in technology than the Brits at the moment.
I'm only on 4G, and probably in the UK it's like 3G.
Yeah. I don't even have a 5G enabled phone. So I realized that by having communication with the outside world, this can help them to realize how they can improve and how they aren't going to lose who they are, but they need to realize that, actually, if I modernize to a certain level, it gets to the point where you don't need so many luxury cars and millions of dollars and things like that, but you do need a certain level of fortune. You need a certain income level, or you need a certain level to the point where you can then start to choose. But I think nowadays in modern society, we've also lost sight of that. We don't think you get up and you expect things to be there. In China, you wake up, you open your phone. I'm hungry. 饿了吗?
你饿了吗?
Right? 你饿了吗? 我饿了. Nah, just use 饿了吗? Or you can go to the supermarket. But these people don't have that.
I know that you also tasted in the show. 因为我看过他的那个节目了，所以我知道一个小秘密。你有尝螺蛳粉。
Oh yeah, I did.
How was that?
I think I was reminded by our technical directors. It's 螺蛳粉.
螺蛳粉.
We all say 螺蛳粉. Whatever. It's just the noodle.
This was not my idea.
Can we have some, please?
This was what?
Surprise! This is my surprise for you. 因为在节目里他说不知道他能不能再吃到。
In a CGTN bowl as well. Wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh. 大家有没有尝过？是不是给
Lots of
大家
carbs, but
来
lots of carbs. Yes. Lots of carbs.
不知道那个镜头前面的观众有没有吃过螺蛳粉是吧
Smells good, smells strong.
Make sure you don't
smells
tip that,
pungent,
thank you.
to be honest. But
Well, this was actually introduced to me by my followers as stinky,
are we really
stinky noodle soup,
真的要直播的时候
which
吃螺
is
蛳
not
粉
very.
For real?
My followers asked me to try this. They recommended this to me, and they introduced it as stinky noodle soup, which does not sound appetizing, right? So I thought,
Are you really gonna eat
I
it?
don't know about that, but then I tried it, and actually it's delicious.
就是因为我看了你说这个好吃，所以我觉得那我一定要
I
带
don't
过来。
know
可
if this
是
is how
It's really
authentic
good.
this is, but
Really?
you go into the
You'll be the
shop.
judge, because I haven't been to 广西，我没有去过广西，所以没有吃过当地的，所以
Oh,
我
it's authentic.
你已经吃了。
Yeah, it smells. Yeah, that's
It
the
smells
smell.
like I can't bring this to 我没有办法透过屏幕给你们闻，可真的是
I would say as 9 out of 10. For
It
those of you
smells-
guys who haven't been to China or haven't been to southern China, have this noodle, spicy noodle with tofu, has a bit of peanuts, green veggies in there, a little spicy. If you can handle spicy food, it's really good.
Yeah, it's like
It's,
sour,
好好吃。
spicy, smelly. What's not to love?
就你
Right?
等会儿还能唱歌吗？因为Shaun等会儿要给我们带来他的这次的节目的主题曲，可是我现在已经顾不上听歌了。
We're talking about food. I mean,
I haven't actually eaten breakfast today. So
Oh, yeah?
it's actually quite nice.
到时候我们继续吃。
yeah.
哦，真
Actually,
的很好
this
吃哎！能
the
把这个
smell and
链
the
接
taste is
打
not
给
the
我到时
same,
候
right?
Does it taste? I don't know if it tastes. I've never had it in Guangxi.
The smell, it smells bad, but it tastes really good. So
It
when you
doesn't-
go to the shop, the smell is so pungent
I think,
in the air. You're like, oh, I don't want to
We
eat
can
anything
we can
here.
finish what we started later, but
Yeah.
in the interest
Yeah,
of time,
The
we're
grand
about
finale.
to come to the end of this live streaming. Before we let you go, we really want to invite you, Shaun, to sing a song for us. Everybody needs somebody.
And this is
This is
a
a masterpiece.
theme tune to this song, and this is your
Yeah.
journey, basically the end product of this entire project.
Yeah, so this basically puts into a song everything that I saw and everything I experienced on this trip.
So we'll
Well, at
give
least
the
I did my
stage to
best.
you. 那接下来我们来听他这首主题曲的歌《Everybody Needs Somebody》。
好吧，大家欢迎Shaun。
Thank you.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're eating.
The far off land on a mountain road, I met a man who held a heavy load with a broke down car wearing worn out clothes. His eyes were so kind and his dreams were so bold. He took me into another world and showed me hundreds of boys and girls. No fathers and mothers beside them to care. He whispered a prayer, said I'll always be there. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And if we all need somebody,
天啊，你唱什么歌？
then they all need somebody.
This is like the people, right?
I met a woman in an orange grove. She walks for miles to where the river flows. A broken shelter she calls her home, and a million others live in the world that she knows. When times get hard, I'll be here for you. Your heart is broken, you're torn in two. But if we stand together and face life as one, there isn't a demon we can't overcome. Everybody needs somebody. Woo! Everybody needs somebody. And if they all need somebody, then we all need somebody.
And there's a dance part to it, right?
This will be the
大家一起过来啊！大家一起上来。我们天津来的朋友们，一起来，一起来。Come on, come over here, guys.
嗨起来，嗨起来。
而且 put your hands up. We're coming to the
这个
end.
我们一起过来。
都会唱吗？This 是在的笛子。
还有吗？还有，哇。
第一次听到这首歌。
Oh, it's so nice.
Our boys from Tianjin, come over here. It's okay, don't be shy. Come over here, come here, come over here, come here,
粉丝
come
们
here,
来
guys. 我们千里迢迢赶过来的Shaun的粉丝啊。可以很有向握手啊。Sorry 啊，螺蛳粉的味道，螺蛳粉的味道太重了。
Everybody needs somebody. 你也会唱。
Everybody.
And everyone needs somebody. The lady needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody.
Woo! Woo!
Everybody needs somebody.
Everybody needs somebody.
Everybody needs somebody. They all need somebody. Everybody needs
Somebody. Woo! Wow! Thank you so much.
All right,
And
guys,
please
thank
stay
you so
tuned.
much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shaun. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you all the fans and everyone in front of the screen.
Thank you for
Thank
tuning
you guys.
in. And,
Thank you for inviting me.
We hope to
to be
see you
part of
again
this amazing
soon. And
project.
thank
Thank
you
you
all
for
for
doing
coming.
And enjoy the documentary.
Enjoy your rest of the day,
We'll send you
evening,
out.
morning, wherever you are.
Okay.
Yes.
all right. Take care.
Good
See you
afternoon,
guys.
good evening, and good
Bye.
night.
Yeah. And good morning in some parts.
Oh yeah, good morning too.
For China's ethnic minority group Maonan, the Nuomian dance is an important tradition of their culture. Every dancer represents a unique god, and each has a different role to play. The dance has a series of sections, with each section highlighting a different dancer. Everyone wears a different mask and costume, and each has their own dance movements, music and lyrics. The Nuomian mixes together numerous different mythical legends and a wide range of musical instruments, including wind instruments, drums, and body percussion sounds. This kind of dancing style offers a glimpse into the mysterious world of the Maonan group, underlining their way of thinking, their personalities, and their somewhat mystical religious beliefs. The Maonan people are one of many local ethnic minority groups living in Guangxi province, located in the south of China. The vast majority of Maonan people live in Huanjiang Maonan Autonomous County, in the northwest of Guangxi. The mountainous landscape makes it extremely difficult to find land suitable for agriculture. Collecting sufficient amounts of water is also problematic due to the challenging terrain. The lack of food and water makes life very difficult for the people living there.
Hey, how's it going?
I am well also, man. It's good to see you. Been a long time.
It has been a long time. I'm coming to Guangxi to see you.
What?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
Wait to see
coming.
ya. What you gonna do here?
Well, first I'm going to go to Maonan Ethnic Minority Autonomous Region or something I think it's called. Yeah, because there's like poverty alleviation going on there, which I want to have a look at. I'm really interested to see that.
That's fantastic. I actually know somebody there named Tan Mei-chun. She
Oh,
has
really?
this orange plantation there. They've done a lot of work with poverty alleviation. Fantastic story. So can I connect you?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be really good. Thank you.
It's a very cold morning at that. It's -2 here now. And we're about to go to the airport to head to Guangxi province.
So we're on our way now to meet someone very special who's really important for this area. Tan Mei-chun, she's done a lot of work to get all of the residents here out of poverty and to improve their quality of life. And I think someone like this, she must have a very inspirational stories.
流浪嘞嘞浪流，流流浪嘞嘞浪流啊，土流大土嘞，哦嘞哦嘞。这是我们灵魂的。
好开心的歌。甘蔗是为了水果吗？
因为这个树，它挂的果太多，所以立着这个杆子，然后用这个绳子帮它忙，要不然这个枝条会断掉，会影响明年的产量。你看果比叶子还要多，下面挂的全部都是果。再过1个多月就会全色变红，到那时候里面都是像金色一样。
所以你们的树就是太棒了，会给我们太多的水果。
对，所以他给我们太多的水果，我们也为他撑腰，帮忙他撑腰。
来吃橘子，这完了，好，吃点。
我应该吃什么？
这个是比较小一点，但是皮比较嫩一点。但是这个是比这个还要甜。
尝一个，
而且还是挺脆的。还好吧？
很好。
要不要带一点回去？
有酸的味道，也有甜的味道。
对，
所以意思就是特别有味道，真的。
谢谢。
Really good. So I'm curious. Can I ask, what was your life like when you were younger?
我脱贫之前，一天想吃3餐干饭都难。那时候都没有出去外面打工，在家里面就靠这3亩地的收入，种一点玉米和豆腐，人均收入不到1500这样。所以15年经济脱贫就被列入贫困户，所以那时的生活真的确实是很困难。所以我就在利用政府的好政策，那时候政府有个贴息贷款，我就利用他们这个好政策就发展产业，然后还有亲戚这一块也借来了2万多，我就是先种水果。是我们乡政府还有县里面的政府都在支持。那时候我们的脱贫标准是3100多就可以达到这个脱贫标准，然后我们的将近5000，我就主动申请脱贫。
Before I came here, I just wanted to get some inspiration for my music, but after seeing how Tangier has transformed her life, I just knew that I had to help the people here too. So I decided to do a live stream to help them to sell their tangerines.
Ooh. Hello everybody and welcome to the fabulous Guangxi Maonan. Here we have the most spectacular tangerines that you've ever tasted. The fragrance, I just want to turn it into a perfume. So beautiful. And the taste, it will blow your mind. So if you would like to try some of these fabulous tangerines,
欢迎大家来广西毛南族。
拜拜，谢谢你们，我们下一次见。
好，期待。
拜拜。Oh, they're such lovely people. You know, it's times like this where I know that they're going to be so deep in my memory for the rest of my life, and it's so sad to think that maybe I'll never meet them again. Maybe I will, but who knows when I'll be able to have the opportunity to come back here again. So, 你们在这个地方用来做什么的？
就是身体有残疾的，或者贫困户、家庭比较困难的那些人，当地政府提供资金给他们资助，帮他们养牛。那些贫困户，他们每户人家在这里放2头牛，每头牛赚300块钱，一年就分给他们600块钱，3年左右可以出栏就有大概2000块钱的利润。
This whole place is like a whole ecosystem because once the cow is ready for slaughter,
then it's taken by another group, workers, to the slaughterhouse, and that's also been set up by the government to support the local workers here. A really interesting way of alleviating the poverty in the area. I think a lot of Western countries may be able to learn something from this, actually. I think it's a very good way of dealing with poverty in a more constructive way, rather than just giving them money and saying, here you go, here's some money. No, it's training them on how to have a life, how to build a life for themselves. So rather than just giving them everything like a charity, it's taking some money, investing that in a project, and teaching them how to run that project themselves.
Hey there, Shaun. Good to see you.
How's it going?
Thanks.
It's really hot in Guangxi these days.
Yeah? How's your trip been?
It was really, really good. Thank you so much for recommending I come here. It's been really, really cool meeting Tanjie. She's really amazing. Such a lovely person. Like, I've never felt so welcome anywhere in all my life. So nice. She actually recommended I go to another town called Maonan Jiayuan. I think it's called Maonan Jiayuan. So I'm going to head there tomorrow, I think.
Maonan Jiayuan. In fact, I have a student here at my university.
Really?
Her name is Tan Jiangyi. She's Maonan, and she's from that area. And at Maonan Jiayuan, at the poverty alleviation workshop, she does work study. So
wow.
You definitely got to meet her if you go there.
Know so many people in Guangxi. You must be really famous. Really nice. Oh, what's this place?
I think it's
Is this the name? What kind of work? Are they all from different villages around, or all from one village, or?
不同的乡村，不同的他们的地方来到这里组织在一起的，因为他们是在乡下嘛，就是交通也不太方便嘛，搬到这里嘛，可以方便他们上班啦，小孩读书就是方便这样子。但是马术不太合适。
A little bit small, but I'm a.
我现在就是一个中国留学生。
Actually fits. Yeah, actually fits. 很合适。
I'm a good student.
他是个好学生。
这个是南宁。
Guangxi Nanning Technology College. So, if you don't mind me asking, how much do the workers earn here?
第一个就是我们是计件的，然后就是他们手脚快慢不同嘛，平均的话也有2000多这样子。
So it's still more than the people could maybe earn in the mountains, because I remember it was about 600 yuan for a cow, right?
Yeah.
But here it's a lot more money, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess it makes more sense for them to come here if they're used to this way of life. After talking with the manager, I thought it was a good time to find Tan Jiangyi to find out what her life is like here. Universities in China are ranked using a tier system, with Tier 1 being the highest level. Tan Jiangyi told me, although she isn't the only person from her village who went to university, she is the only one to be accepted into a Tier 1 university. This left me feeling very interested in hearing her story and intrigued to learn more about her life. She kindly offered to show me around her childhood home in the village she hopes to preserve. 那是什么？
四脚蛇。
四脚蛇是怎么回事？
这是翼的翼。
哦。
我听到声音 I can hear something. Oh, ow! Oh yeah, that's a pig. Wow.
Hello.
Hello, pig. Actually, I think it would be a really good idea to have animals under your house that you take care of and everything, because in the UK, like a lot of people's dreams are to like have a piece of land, have some animals and grow vegetables and things like that, and this is a great space-saving device, but I'm not sure if I'd personally want to have pigs living under my house, but here it's just completely normal. 最新的季报数据拜登在宾夕法尼亚多措加州内华达州、亚利桑那州所获选票以微弱优势领先特朗普。特朗普则在 What's this? 这个是什么东西？
这个是我弟弟的奖状，也可能还有我的。
他特别喜欢学习吗？
是啊。
哦，他对什么 subject 有感兴趣？
语文。
语文。
2楼是吗？
他们在做饭，对吗？你好。
我们这里也有别墅，好吗？这就是别墅。天啊，无一份，真的。
What is it that makes you feel emotional now?
可能是那些小时候那些回不去的时光，就是从小就在这里长大，到后面，就很想再回到那些小时候欢乐时光，就在想守护它，就像一个港湾一样，就是在等我回来，它会包容我的一切。 毕业了之后，可能就会选择考个公务员，然后就是回到就是县里面。就像我自己学的是法学嘛，就用自己所学知识去帮助那些就是因为就是不懂得那些法律知识的。据美国媒体报道，本次美国总统选举关键人物之一的佐治亚州6号宣布，由于2名总统候选人的，我爸爸妈妈他们觉得我在今后的生活中就是能过得很好，觉得他们就很开心了。 那肯定是要改变的，我不希望我的后代还是这样子。
You know, hearing the story about her family and how they support her so much and everything, it really reminds me of my family and how much they've supported me over the years and giving me the opportunity to pursue my own passion and my own dreams, you know, which has led me to here right now.
这样可以吗？可以，好，准备1、2、3。
Is it a mask?
Yes. Wow.
Wow, it looks so beautiful.
Tan Zhangyi has told me where I can go to find where they make the Nuomian masks.
Oh, Nangchangtun.
Yes.
Oh, I think I really need to go there. Hi guys! I'm very excited today because I'm here in Nangchangtun. This place is actually the birthplace of Maonan Zhu, which is the place where I'm going to try and find out more about the mask. And actually Maonan Zhu was started when about 500 years ago a group from Hunan came over here and one of the people married a local person here, and then that's how Maonan Zhu started. 你好，这是裸面的地方吗？
是。
哦，我终于找到你们。
这个是谭建天。
哦，就是你。
我是谭建轩。
哦，很高兴认识你。
我是非古籍文化传承人，磨面雕刻传承人。
所以对你们毛囊族的人，这个是为什么这么重要的事情？
一个人男孩的38岁以上的还愿仪式。 叫做回套，代表我们对万岁娘娘的感恩。分龙节拿来跳傩舞啊，是这样的。为了发扬我们毛南族的 特色文化，继承我们的祖先做的罗面具，要发扬，要承传下去。
对，我觉得其实传统文化特别重要。
我就把这个技术传给我的儿子，还有徒弟啊，可以开那个培训班啊。去年的有20人。
哦，
这个培训班20人。
It's really not an easy thing to do. You know, these are really skilled people doing this. And it's nice to know that it's being passed down from generation to generation and that the culture isn't going to be lost. And I really hope that in the future, more people can learn about these masks and the culture that they represent as well. 那我可以做你们的学生吗？
可以呀，
可以吗？
可以呀，但是我看你有没有诚心的学习吧。
好吧，好，
那我们是师兄弟，来，我带你过去。
好，谢谢。
这个，
哦，所以 ，so I hold like this，这样的。
这样的。对。
The last time I used an axe, I chopped my finger off. That's a true story.师傅，我做完了，你感觉怎么样？
技术的掌握技术到一半了，要努力哦。
OK， 不好，做得不好。It's been very interesting coming here today because I can tell that these masks mean a lot to the people here. It's a very important part of their culture. And you can tell that every different mask has their own expression. You know, you have some here that are more like monster, scary looking ones, and then you also have these sort of ones that look more like gods. It really reminds me of the Buddha culture, which I see all around China, when I go to the different temples and monasteries and places like that. Very, very interesting stuff. Master Tan has dedicated his life to teaching his 20 students. Now, the Luomian culture can be passed on to future generations, and the masks can be sold to generate an income.
Maonan. 你看这个13页，这个是刚刚县里面刚刚部署的这个会议，我们要逐项的去开展工作的繁杂就程度，比我之前就还没来这里之前相比就太繁杂了。很多事我们都要亲力亲为。
就是发放这个房屋采购款。
心理学里面，这个是跟农业药收关键是你现在是比较大，我看起来比较大。
我现在知道拿去验病嘛，拿去验病嘛。知道是他得了，这个到时候要查这个的。
你看我从村里面要回到县城的话，开慢一点的话要4个小时，就是单程就要4个小时。乡镇东往县城唯一的一条路就是必经之路。哎，那个好像我看一下轮胎好像有点不对劲，我要去看一下去。有问题吗？哦，漏气了。
怎么了？
漏气了，漏气了，
漏气了。
对，我们在这种山区的路经常会遇到这种情况的。像我来这里2年，已经爆胎了20几个。
Wow, he looks like he's got a lot of experience in doing this.
其实也很快了的，不用多久了。这是我们必用的工具。
对，已经做完了吗？
做完了，
这么快 ，so fast。
行，搞定，洗个手先。好。
Well, let the journey to Bahao begin again. Hopefully we won't meet any more problems because we don't have another tire.
应该超过7万公里，只有2年多时间。
魏书记，你去哪儿？
我去看他们修路啊。这个我们叫做砂石路。
砂石路
啊，对。
Oh my God, so dangerous.
往前看，你看弯度那么大，对吧？角度很大，然后又陡
very steep. I don't know whether you can tell on the camera, but here it's so steep.
有恐高症的话，可能都有点害怕。
Wow, you can see here the cement's still wet. It's so new.
这个路我们以前施工的时候，特别是最困难的，很困难的。这种就是你看上面这种，可以叫悬崖峭壁了。从悬崖峭壁上开采一条路出来，你能想到它有多困难？
I can't imagine just how hard it is to build a road here. 我不会相信是这么困难。
不敢相信。
They're setting off controlled detonations in order to get rid of the rock.
快点，拿下来噻！
And this water here is clean enough to drink.
它是干净，但是要达到饮用水标准，它还是要经过这个消毒的。上面有个水房嘛，水厂嘛，水厂那里就是经过消毒，完了才送过去。
So what's the water going to be used for? Is it mostly for agriculture or also for drinking?
喝的和农作物用都可以。
Wow, so it's a totally
真正的自来水了，我们就是县城所说的自来水，可以说是打破了这几百年我们没能实现的有自来水的这个梦想。
魏书记，别走！别离开我好吗 ？Don't leave me here! Oh, I thought you were gonna leave me. Don't do that to me. 好，走吧。
The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization once visited Bahao village and said that apart from the desert, Bahao village is one of the most unsuitable places for a human population to live.
Do you want to translate?
No, don't worry, it's okay. 这个是之前他们蜀饭的这个随记吧。
This is only the old house from 3 months ago. They've only been living in that new house for 3 months. Previously, this was just their house. This is the place that they called home. It's just given me a whole new perspective on what poverty actually means. And to think that there are still people living in this kind of condition in 2020, my eyes don't believe what I'm seeing. So my brain is just like, it only associates places like this with movies
it's not real. This kind of place doesn't exist anymore. Now I'm sure no matter where you are in the world watching this, if you're watching this right now, then you have a television, you have electricity, you probably have a sofa, you have food to eat, you can go to the supermarket whenever you want, you can get in a car. And if you have all of these things and you're experiencing all of those things, then if you came here, you would really appreciate just how lucky you are. Because I now realise just how lucky I am. And I can really feel my privilege standing here right now.
There's an old Chinese proverb, 落叶归根, which translates as falling leaves return to the root. It means to revert to one's origin. Even though life in Bahaotun is far from easy, for the people who live there, it's home, and they're understandably reluctant to leave, because it's all they know. But the local government still hopes to improve the people's quality of life, and so they've built new houses for them. And now their old houses can be used as shelters for chickens, geese and ducks, places of work instead of residence. Also, by improving their quality of life, creating 5G internet access and building road networks, the government hopes to inspire the younger generations to venture to other destinations in China and broaden their horizons.
看一下有没有水，看一下。有的。
哦，有水。
就是它有这个自来水。哦，洗澡是吧？
对。
洗澡他们用毛巾啊。毛巾啊。
They use the towel. And the water from the bucket. This is really basic living. So they will take the water from the bucket and use a towel to wipe themselves down. This is the shower. Yeah, big shock for me. I think it's the first time I've really been able to feel the importance of the work that Wei Shuji and people like him are doing. It's a really, really difficult life. 你真的很辛苦，真的很辛苦。
刚才我见你是流眼泪了，还是什么？
没有，就是有点感动，对，感动。对。I can't believe there are 12 people here. 12 people. Sitting here, I can't help but notice just how many young people there are around. And it's got me thinking, what kind of life are they going to have? What kind of people are they going to grow up to be? I really hope that 10 years from now, a lot of them will have moved and travelled to larger towns, maybe even Nanning City, to seek more opportunities, but who knows? Hopefully, someday I'll have the opportunity to come back and meet some of the people that I've met here again and see exactly what kind of life they have in the future. I really hope, I really wish them every success, and I hope that they have the opportunity to go outside and see more of the world, to realise just how many opportunities this world has to offer, and not be afraid to venture out and see what they can find.
Đâu nấy lề của mà. Đâm liều sâu ở tổng. Liều sâu ở tổng. Xấu không? Xin sao mày à?
Lại qua mà. Chưa mà.
爸爸呢？啊？爸爸去哪里了？
打高啊，啥呢？
去南宁。去南宁做什么？啊？
打高。
傻是吧？为了你们呐，是不是？
You know, actually, Wei Shuji is one of
hundreds of people who have made a sacrifice to come and live in the mountains with these people and protect them, so that the parents of the children can go out to work and find a better life for their children and for their families. And without people like Wei Shuji, it wouldn't be possible for them to improve their lives. But that improvement takes a huge sacrifice for him. He's abandoned his own family in the town to come here and live amongst them. And these people have become his extended family now.
像忙的时候没得照顾家里，他肯定有意见。以前甚至说，承受不了了，什么要离婚了等等这些。如果都一直有这么忙碌的工作的话，那肯定影响到小孩。我们照顾小孩的时间都没有。换一种方式来讲，我们也变成我的小孩也变成留守儿童了，也说不能经常陪伴在他身边。
But for me to think that it's not only him, but also hundreds of others who are in exactly the same situation, I can't help but think it's just amazing to find such kind people who are willing to help and sacrifice so much. Because I've found in this world there aren't that many people who would be willing to make such a sacrifice. And without them, I don't think China would be able to improve as rapidly as it has been doing.
在里面生活了几辈子的人，出来的话，你就必须得走出来，没有其他的办法了。8岁了是吗？8岁了。少啊，8岁了，对，8岁了。The world is broken.
And I mean, I'm sure you can hear the children learning now, like their sound, so I want to go and have a look. The desks look very, very old, and also there's no equipment or library or anything.
你好，
我叫肖恩。
哦，
肖恩。
这里只有一个学校，我除了教书，还要做饭给学生吃。这些孩子的话，也是我家乡的人啊。那如果我回家了，能为自己家乡做这些事情，那自己也快乐啊，是不是？
来，不用谢。
谢谢。
Hello。How to say classmate? 同学，我就是你的同学。Education is a very important aspect of China's poverty alleviation strategy. So now I'm going to visit another school in the area, which is funded by the local Shenzhen government. Shenzhen is a large and wealthy city just across the river from Hong Kong, in the neighbouring Guangdong province. This is a prime example of the government's initiative of having wealthier provinces help out poorer provinces in the fight to alleviate poverty.
就是服务那个移民搬迁户，就像这些地方都是为了扶贫，从乡下各个乡镇集中到这里来，服务有近1万人，是我们深圳福田区的政府给我们大力的支持。 现在我们的教学设备可以说在全国还是比较先进的，我们用的都是现代化，都是电脑，用手可以触屏触摸的。
Wow, so it's a great example of provinces, bigger provinces helping out poorer provinces, right? I like these chairs, they're very cool.
因为我们是小学生，小学生我们要装的好看一点，可爱一点。
The environment here is really nice. But what's that sound?
控制住，别动，斜上来，一起。他呢，很会唱歌，也会弹琴哦。 刚开始他们来自山里面，很多生活习俗就是也远离父母亲，在外面打工，就远离父母，很多一些生活习俗啊，一些生活的常识都没有人教他们。孩子们看着我就是很害羞，就这样捂着脸，然后慢慢我就说我会给你们带来自信，我会给你们变得越来越美，越来越美丽。所以今天看到你，他们是那样的开心，那样的活泼，我也觉得巨大的变化。
Okay. How do I get myself into these situations? What to teach? 1, 2, 3, go! Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. 你们喜欢莎莎吗？ OK。我左手一是太极拳，右手一点是神仙，朝着这条交情线，我轻功飞燕。
They are the children from the poor family.
Yeah. So that's why you came here, to help them.
I must help them.
So are you from Zhuangzhou yourself?
I'm not from Zhuangzhou. I'm from Shenzhen. The government told us this school needs the teachers, so I came here.
So you volunteered to come here?
Of course, I volunteer.
Take a journey through the country where a dragon's lurk inside. Bounce! Falling fast out of sight, just to find myself in Dombay with a snowball in my hand. But the single greatest wonder in this far-off ancient land is the more I learn, the more I find there's left to understand. 不用谢。哎呀 so greedy. Okay, now you have to share with your friends. And also I think this is a really great school. It's so humbling to think of the teacher Liu coming here to, all the way from Shenzhen, to come out of retirement to teach. I think it's so noble. And the environment here is so amazing, so conducive to learning. So many books and the facilities and everything are like top class. Much better than I had in my primary school when I was young. So it's been very eye-opening. It's been a very eye-opening experience for me, and something that I don't think I'll ever forget. Oh, so cute. Hey man, I'm gonna come and meet you at the university soon. I think we're gonna leave shortly, so we should be there in probably a couple of hours, I think. So, see you soon.
Great, Shaun. Glad you're on your way. We'll see you there. I'll be waiting for you at the University for Nationalities at the front gate.
Oh, he said he'd meet us by the gate. We should be there soon. Oh, here he is. Oh, hey.
Welcome, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah,
Been a
you
while.
too.
Welcome to our school.
Thank you very much. It's
Yep.
nice to be here.
Yep.
meaning to come for a while. Guangxi民族大学. This is the West Campus.
Wow, there are so many instruments here.
Yeah, welcome to the instrument room.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's an instrument room, is it?
Yeah, we got
It's appropriately named.
Check out this one.
Oh, yeah.
This
Oh, you
is
also have
the-
Yangting here. I wrote a
you've
song
seen
for
that
this.
before?
Yeah, I wrote a song for this one.
What? I'd love to hear that song.
Yeah.
So this is called a 独弦琴.
Okay. Sorry, say again?
独弦琴.
Du
And
xian
single
qin.
string instrument.
Okay.
It belongs to the Jing people.
Okay.
Guangxi.
Of Guangxi province.
Yep. So you play the harmonics. And with this, you adjust the pitch.
Aha.
Isn't that awesome? I
That's
love it.
very cool. Nice little bit of vibrato there.
Yeah, it's super expressive.
It's really, really nice. I actually saw a local Guangxi instrument as well.
Really?
I've just been on a trip in the
Okay.
countryside.
Go
I've got a video on my phone actually here. You can see it's two people playing at the same time. It's a kind of like a drum
Wow,
type
that's
thing
amazing.
or a gong. You see this this bucket here going in and out, creating it's like a woof woof woof.
Manipulating the acoustics.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's amazing.
a kind of, I don't know, like a trombone or something like that.
Perfect.
Yeah, really
Perfect
cool.
example.
I've kind of got like a few ideas in my mind because you know how I travel around and I write a song about every place that I visit, or I try to anyway. So I've got a few sort of ideas. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I just thought of some like basic chords, just kind of like a nice sort of, I don't know, maybe minor.
Ooh, nice.
Something a bit more, maybe something like that. Something a bit solemn but also hopeful.
Okay.
I don't know.
Feeling some inspiration from your trip, maybe from that?
Yeah, exactly, because there were a lot of people there. Their lives are very tough. I don't know whether you know much about the mountain regions in Guangxi province, but they're really, they're not well off at all. Like there's a lot of kind of extreme poverty there. And the government are they're running a whole load of poverty alleviation programs.
Okay.
The whole point is that they're trying to get people down from the mountains to slightly larger towns in the area to give them a much better quality of life. But there's some resistance there.
Okay.
Because they're already used to their.
So maybe what they need is just more experience and education.
Yeah.
And it sounds like these programs are starting to provide that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
In America, so there's a lot of programs. There's some government-run programs. There's nonprofit organizations to alleviate poverty in America. But I don't think I've ever seen anything that's at the scale of this program that China has put into place. So
It's the same in the UK. I mean, we have charities and things that operate to help homeless people out, you know, to give them clothes and food and to give them some accommodation for a few nights. But there isn't enough temporary accommodation for them. And in that situation, it's just more like, I don't know, I get the feeling it's more like throwing money at the situation rather than actually getting the root of the problem solved. Kind of like the whole teach a man to fish for a day or something. What is it?
yeah, give a man a fish, feed him for a day.
Yeah,
Teach him
exactly.
to fish, feed him for a lifetime.
Exactly, it's like that, yeah.
Hi guys! Guess where I am? Yes, you guys set me a challenge, so because I'm such a nice upju YouTuber, Wang Hong, whatever you want to call me, I am happy to comply. I'm so nice, please love me more, please give me sanlian because I'm here today to try this. Yes, today I'm gonna eat stinky noodles. Let's go! It looks a lot better than I thought it would look, to be honest. Is this actually stinky noodles? Really? And so our trip in Guangxi has to come to an end. And what can I say other than it's been absolutely incredible. A very, very eye-opening experience for me. They've got a kind of sour and also fragrant taste, which I think represents my experience here. You know, there are a lot of beautiful mountains, absolutely stunning scenery, and a bunch of heroes here, but also a lot of poor people, a lot of people that don't have very much. And I think these noodles represent that contrast really well. So I think whenever I tuck into these noodles, I'm always going to remember this place. It's going to be a very deep memory in my mind for, I think, the rest of my life. Thank you for recommending this to me, because I think it's really delicious. And I think maybe I will also try to find this in Beijing, if they have it. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it from me today. So, thank you again. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. Bye-bye.
This trip has been such a massive inspiration for me. How to put all of this into a song? That's my big challenge now. I'm gonna fly back to Beijing with so many memories running through my mind, and when I close my eyes, I'll see the faces of all the incredible people I met here. Truly remarkable people. I think it's just like what Lin Ziyang and I both said, that age-old expression really counts here. Give the man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach the man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. But I've also learnt from my time here that first the people need to know exactly what a fish is and how it can help them. It may be that the people need to be shown more of what the outside world has to offer, so they can slowly get used to the idea that their lives can be improved, and they don't have to live in such harsh conditions. And then maybe, just maybe, slowly they can start to believe that their future can be much brighter. I really hope I can come back to this area in 5 or 10 years' time and see how it's changed, see how it's improved for the better, and see what it's become. See the results of the work that the incredible, selfless people are doing here. I'm really excited for that day.
Everybody needs somebody. 'Cause if we all need somebody, then they all need somebody. I met a woman in an orange grove. She walks for miles to where the river flows. Shelter, she calls her home, and a million others live in the world that she knows. When times get hard,